Yes, thank you, Ben. Conference in January, you may have noticed that Ben secured a win for our party in the Bearsden South by-election. And he won, yes. And he won the best way that any Lib Dem can win, which is by knocking every single door in the constituency, or in the ward, I should say, and then knocking them all over again. And he was supported by the absolutely brilliant team of volunteers that we have in the West, and by many who from across the country who came to help us, some who are in this room. So thank you so much for your help. We got it across the line. Ben did it all the entire time with a smile on his face as we tried to, and it just shows what door knocking can do, because in the end, not only did he win, but he dominated, and we won very well indeed. So, as Ben said, I'm Adam Harley. I'm a candidate for Strathkelvin and Bearsden, the Holyrood equivalent of the Mid-Dunbartonshire seat that Susan Murray won so brilliantly in 2024. It's the constituency that I grew up in. It's where I'm now raising my family, and it's where, after polling day, I hope to represent as an MSP. But this path into politics really isn't one I ever expected to take. As a wee boy, I lived in my imagination, and I used to love escaping into films, and so when I got the chance to study acting in London, I took it. And I had some brilliant experiences doing that, treading the boards, reciting Shakespeare, but I always had this nagging feeling, the desire to engage in work that could really make a difference, could make a positive impact in someone's life. And that led me to volunteer with disadvantaged children and young offenders, and eventually to a job in the Cystic Fibrosis Trust, where I was part of a campaign for access to life-saving drugs for people with CF, and that was a campaign that we won. And it was an experience that made me determined to get involved in politics, because I saw firsthand the positive impact that politics can have, and just how important it is that we've got the right people in Parliament, and that they're in there for the right reasons. And through the voluntary work I did, I learned how childhood shapes a young person's future, and how the attention and support of a community is the best antidote to antisocial behaviour. And also how little it can take to help someone turn their life around. It's so vital that we create opportunities for people and provide the support to help those people grasp them, because so many people feel stuck right now. So many people are struggling and they're angry. And that's why I've made it my mission over the last year to knock as many doors as possible, to show up and listen to people, and to prove that I genuinely care what they think, and that I'll carry their stories with me if they send me to Parliament in May. For me, that is the minimum we should expect of our politicians. And it's also how we find out what's broken and fix it. And Lib Dems are good at getting things fixed. Those small daily efforts we make in our communities, they matter more than people realise. Kenny Badenoch was wrong to scoff at us for fixing church roofs. Now, don't get me wrong, if you need a roof fixed, I'm almost certainly not your man. It will probably be in far worse shape after I've had a wee look at it than it was before. But I do want to be an MSP who cares about your bins getting collected, whilst also caring about properly staffing our NHS, who listens and acts when that same pothole has been there for years, whilst also making sure our schools are properly maintained, who makes sure overgrown hedges are cut back in your village while focusing on families coping with the rising cost of living. And I'm not waiting to be elected to get stuff done, like pushing forward plans for a new community space in Bishopbriggs Town Centre, calling for better local mental health services so people don't have to travel miles across Eastern Bartonshire just to access support, campaigning for crossing patrols to be reinstated on busy roads outside primary schools, pushing for a better bus service in Torrance, for childcare that's affordable and accessible, and yes, getting hedges cut around Lennoxtown so people actually have space to walk on paths that have become badly overgrown. Because we can take care of the little things while tackling the big things too. and we need to, because it feels like things are going backwards in Scotland at the moment. And let me be blunt for a moment. After almost 20 years in power, we absolutely need to get rid of the SNP. Now, I could spell out decision after decision where they've let people down, where they've wasted millions of pounds and repeatedly decided not to take responsibility when they've got things wrong. But instead, I want to focus on what we can control. I want to focus on how we beat them. And in my neck of the woods, in Strathkelvin and Bearsden, people know that voting Liberal Democrat is the only way, not only to beat the SNP, but to vote for change, and change, as Alex says, with fairness at its heart. But we are offering to be more than just a way to beat the SNP. And in Parliament, I will work hard to support our NHS. I'll be on the side of patients who rely on it and the doctors and nurses who staff it. I'll stand with teachers who are overstretched and pupils who need additional support. I'll look for every opportunity to make life easier and more affordable for the people I represent. When so many people have lost faith in politics, we have to prove we can deliver. That's what inspired me to stand for Parliament, to be part of a politics that moves beyond divisions, the divisions we've been stuck in for far too long. Beyond a politics that rewards division with attention and punishes collaboration. We don't have time for all that nonsense any longer. We have to get things done. A friend asked me recently what it's like to stand for Parliament at the minute when there's so much negativity, when it feels like politics, not only here but around the world, is in a state of chaos. She asked if I genuinely had hope that things could get better. And I told her that I do. And the reason is simple. I have a little boy who's about to turn 3, so things need to get better. For him and for every child in Scotland. Change, opportunity, fairness. We're heading in that direction because it's necessary and because we simply must. But we all need to play our part in making that a reality. And right now, for us, that means knocking doors and convincing people that our values of freedom and tolerance, of internationalism and collaboration beat the vices of nationalism, pessimism and division every single day of the week. But we do need your help out west, so if you can spare money to fund leaflets or time to deliver them and come and knock on doors, please do. It will genuinely make a huge difference. So let's be bold, let's be ambitious. As Alex said yesterday, this is our year, this is our time. We have to push back and we have to win, so let's do it. Thank you.